welcome back guys to a brand new video, and today we're here for episode 66 guys of my F1 2016 Toro Rosso career mode, here today for the Singapore Grand Prix. Obviously Singapore, probably my most hated track on the calendar, sort of that and Monaco, but you can just see by the standings so far we have a 61 point lead over Nico Rosberg here, so we've got over 2 race wins advantage, so it's looking very, very good for myself at this moment in time, guys. But if you are new around here, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'm very, very close now to 900 subscribers, so hoping, I can hit that over the next couple of days, guys. But as well, if you are interested, guys, just to get into this video, I'm actually streaming tonight. I'm live streaming the Noob Journey. If you guys do not know what that is XMattyG's old series, the Noob Journey. So I'm going to be streaming my POV from that race tonight, guys. There will also be a link in the description to the commentary, guys. So hopefully, if you do want to show out for that, that'd be very, very good. I'm really enjoying live streaming at the moment, so, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But you can just see, moving on then into this Singapore Grand Prix, we've actually got 400 R&D points bonus there from the sponsors, so very, very happy with that. That can really, really help with car upgrades at this moment in time, because we are trying to max out the car at the moment. I think we've got about 16, 17 upgrades on the car at the moment here, so that will really, really help us out. But Chris just telling me there how well the car is doing, and you can see that Ferrari have brought a lot of upgrades to this Grand Prix, so they are back level with us once again there, and Red Bull are starting to slack off a little bit, but it only ever says that about the two cars closest to you in the standings. You can see Ferrari have brought a double upgrade to this Grand Prix. They've increased the downforce on the car, and I think they've also reduced the chassis width there, as you can see. But we've got just over 800 R&D points now, and I think we really want to save for the 5th and final engine upgrade, but we might try and go for a couple of cheaper upgrades, try and make the car far more well-rounded. But let's move on then into free practice, and obviously the only way to earn those R&D points for the upgrades is to do all these little practice things in the races. So the track acclimatization lap, we got the purple score there, nice 50 R&D points from that, and then onto the qualifying simulation lap, coming into the final couple of corners, right behind Lewis Hamilton here, and we should be able to get purple on this lap as well, and yes we do so there. So very, very easy, 2 very, very easy point scoring things there. So, having a look at the end of the session here, we're going to take home well over 100 R&D points here. I think it's going to be around about 140, so 139 points there. Takes the total up to 967. So we've definitely got enough for an upgrade here, but it's just what upgrade we do end up wanting to go with on the car now. As you can see, my lady's coming over to tell me about a new rival, and I can't even tell whether she's got her hair dyed for this Grand Prix, something a bit special for the night time. But, she's telling me about my new rival here, and I think it's going to be Nico Rosberg. Yes, it is. He is second in the standings, second as well in the constructors standings for this Grand Prix there, guys. Obviously in that Mercedes car, that Mercedes has really lacked off on pace overall, but their 2 drivers very, very consistent in this series so far, guys. Let's have a look then, and moving on straight away into qualifying here. In qualifying 1, we did get 3rd place there on this set of the ultra soft tyres, not really pushing too hard. As you can see, Fernando Alonso and my teammate Danny Kvyat there doing very, very well to actually go quicker than me there. So we were down in P3 there in the end of that session there. But overall, in Q1 there, not many too big surprises. Obviously, quite interesting to see how many drivers did opt to go on a set of these super soft tyres, from the top half of the field there. Nico Rosberg barely scraped through into Q2 there. You can see both Renaults, both Williams and both Manas there did not make it into Q2 there, so no big surprises there. I think the only thing noticeable was Felipe Massa there massively off the pace. I think he was 2 seconds off the Mana cars there, so obviously he didn't make a very, very good lap out of that Q1 then. Moving on then into Q2, and we actually tried to go through on a set of these soft tyres, the super soft tyres in this session here, so hoping that we should be able to get through, and that felt like a very, very quick lap. I think that was just about the same sort of pace as my Q1 lap there, so I think we are just going to retire from the session there and then, and just hope that we have been able to make it through into Q3 there. And obviously it'll depend on the music there, and the music sounds alright, so we've done alright there, and yes we have P6 overall there in Q2, obviously on the set of the super soft tyres there, which does open up the race strategy for myself there. So very, very happy with that. You see Max Verstappen took pole position there in that session, with my teammate Danny Kvyat there once again up in P2 there, so very, very strong by him. Lewis Hamilton 3rd, Kimi Raikkonen 4th, Daniel Ricciardo 5th, myself down in P6 there with Sebastian Vettel, Sergio Perez, Nico Rosberg and Fernando Alonso rounding out the top 10 there. So we've seen all top 4 big teams there, Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso there, getting to Q3 then. No big surprises once again, as you can see both McLaren Hondas, both Haas there. I think the Force India and the Sauber car did not make it into Q3 there, guys. Moving on then into my Q3 lap, which you see we just nudged up against the wall there going around the final couple of corners here, but down towards the line. And we do go purple there with a 1 minute 40, so very, very happy with that lap in that session then. That should be good enough for pole position for the Grand Prix tomorrow. And yes, it is. They're 6 tenths clear in that final qualifying session there. So, we brought the pace where it really mattered the most there. I'm very, very happy with that, especially considering, obviously, we are starting on a set of these super soft tyres there, guys. Now have a look at the R&D there. We did claim another free 90 R&D points there from those qualifying sessions, so we should be very, very good in comparison to my new rival Nico Rosberg there in the career rivalry as well. So see now, so have a look, obviously we both got into Q3 there. I out-qualified him though, got the pole position. Now I think I was quickest in all 3 sectors there, so we're currently 8-2 there in comparison to Nico Rosberg there. So very, very happy with that, guys. And obviously we're still miles up in the purple score there for this Grand Prix there. But just have a look then at the R&D, and not really too sure what upgrades to go with on the car at this moment in time, guys. But let's move on then into the Singapore Grand Prix. So here we are then, guys, here for Singapore Grand Prix, round 15 of the season, and it's looking very, very comfortable for myself at this moment in time in the standings, obviously with that 60-point lead. We can really afford to have a couple of really bad races and still could have easy sort of 35-40 point gap. It's just been sheer consistency so far this season for myself. But let's have a run down through the grid. Myself on pole with Sebastian Vettel alongside me, with the Red Bulls locking out the second row behind both myself and Vettel. Raikkonen, Hamilton, Kvyat, Alonso, and we got Nico Rosberg and Sergio Perez rounding out the top 10 there. The Haas cars both missing out on Q3, only just there, with Marcus Ericsson, Jensen Button, Nico Hulkenberg, and Felipe Nasr there rounding out this Q2 there. We got the Renault, then Bottas, Pascal Wehrlein, Ria Haryanto, and Felipe Massa there, a full 5 seconds of pole position there in Q3 there. So very, very poor for him in that session here. But obviously we're starting on the pole, and that has actually opened up a one-stop strategy for myself in this Grand Prix. So I think I'm going to opt to go on that strategy here, but obviously safety cars are always going to occur at this Singapore Grand Prix. I think every career mode race we've done around here on this game, we've had at least one safety car here. So, hoping that we don't see a safety car, because that could really botch up my strategy here. But I'm feeling confident moving on into the Singapore Grand Prix though, guys. It's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights for the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's lights out. And away we go. Then we actually got off to a pretty terrible start. Sebastian Vettel is going to go down my inside, down towards turn 1 here. We're just going to try and be cautious. Verstappen goes right around the outside of absolutely everyone. There was Raikkonen goes past me as well through turn 2 and turn 3 there. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of lag on the video recording there, but we're down to P4 already in this Grand Prix there, and that is not exactly what I wanted there. But Verstappen and Vettel there getting absolutely incredible starts there. As Ricciardo now is going to try and have a look down my inside, down towards the second sector, and he's going to be able to go down my inside. Nothing I'm going to be able to do to defend that position there. I'm running very, very high wings for this Grand Prix, which probably wasn't ideal moving on into this race here, because we just need to try and hold on to Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen in this Grand Prix. As you can see, by the end of lap 1 here, we're still right on these guys' gearboxes, and we've just got to hope that Verstappen doesn't pull away, and we really need to try and get back through the field here. But I was just really lacking on raw pace in this Grand Prix here. We're trying to just keep up with these guys at this moment in time, and also trying not to shred the tyres too much here. But right behind Daniel Ricciardo here, we're going to try and go for a bit of an alternate line through turn 2 and turn 3 there, but that isn't going to pay off, unfortunately, for myself here. And we're just lacking so much grip and just general pace in comparison to all the AI here. But coming through the next corner there, we hit the wall on the outside there. Not exactly what I wanted to do there, as we lose a handful more of positions there, but I don't think we damaged the front wing particularly badly there. But let's have a look then on the replay cameras what actually happened there, because that seemed like a very, very odd crash. I'm going to try and go from, I think, third person view for this crash here. As you can see, we're just coming through the corner there, right behind everyone else, and we just run wide over that curb there, this horrible curb on this circuit there, and it's actually the rear wheel that got slightly clipped into the tyre barrier there, which meant the back end did spit around there, but we went for quite a clean 360-degree spin there, and we're going to lose a few positions there. But Sergio Perez tries to have a look down my inside there, but we make contact with him, but we do hold on to P8 in this Grand Prix here, but not exactly what I wanted here. And the front wing, as you can see, there is damaged ever so slightly there. Jeff just telling me that we do need to try and keep it clean here as we clip the wall once again there. But these guys just heading me now, no idea what's going on to Kimi Raikkonen here. They're all going side by side through these next couple of corners here, so we're going to try and go down the inside of Nico Rosberg there, move up into P7, and we're now going to try and have a look up the inside of Lewis Hamilton there, but he dives my teammate Danny Kvyat there, so we're going to try and go for the undercut on the pair of them here. We just get bogged down there, so we go side by side with my teammate Danny Kvyat there. He tries to look for a move on Lewis Hamilton here, but we're going to try and go down around the outside of Lewis Hamilton here, and we do make contact with him. He nearly puts me in the wall there, but we do manage to go round his outside here, still side by side with Lewis Hamilton here, and into the next couple of corners. We're going to try and give him the room. He makes contact with me, and we make contact with Lewis Hamilton there, and unfortunately for him, he has been sent the wrong way around there, and I think, looking at it, it was probably my fault once again here, so, you know, I can only apologise to Lewis there, but just have a look then, from his point of view, in this Grand Prix, as you can see, me just coming down into the next couple of corners here, and I think it was like what we saw last time out. He just gets caught over the curbs, and the steering lock straightens out there. As you can see, he's steering far more than the car has decided to turn there. As you can see, we just go over the corner there, and we just don't give him enough space on the inside there, because I don't expect him to understeer that much, and he just hits my rear wheel there, and unfortunately for him, he is facing the wrong way. He does move out of the way quite quickly though, lets my teammate through, and then decides he's going to hold up everyone else there, so, you know, that's helped my teammate out quite a bit, but nobody else behind him there. But it's been a quite carnage first couple of laps here, and now the safety car has been deployed here. Obviously, we're down in P5 at this moment in time, but the guys ahead of me have been able to pull out quite a gap at this moment in time, but hopefully, you know, we should be able to close back in on those guys. See, there's actually a driver in the pit lane there. We think about going into the pits, but think better of it here. We're just going to try and stretch our tyres, but it's Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane there, so we're going to be able to move up now into P4 of this Grand Prix here. As you can see though, to the end of the safety car period here, obviously Verstappen boxing up the field absolutely massively here, and this could really help me out, guys. Obviously, if these guys are a bit slower on their sets of ultra soft tyres here, we just need a good start from this safety car, and hopefully, you know, we could be looking back towards Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen here. But the yellow flags are out now, we're ready to resume racing, and the green flags are out, and we're just going to try and take a good line through the final corner there, but we really got caught out by the green flags there, and we've not been able to get anywhere near as close to Kimi Räikkönen and Daniel Ricciardo there as I would really hope to in this restart of this Grand Prix there. So unfortunately for me, the restart has been bottled there, not exactly what I wanted. But, you know, hopefully, obviously, if we can just keep up with these guys over the next few laps, obviously their tyres should fade out very, very quickly here. But my tyre wear at this moment in time, especially with that front wing damage, I think the game was actually not really portraying how much front wing damage I had on the car. So I'm actually going to come into the pits at the end of this lap here, really just struggling for raw pace there. You can see Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo there have pulled that absolutely massively on me. So we're going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. We're going to go onto a set of the soft tyres here and change the front wing to just try and go as far into the rest of this Grand Prix as we can here. Try and make it as flexible for myself towards the end of the Grand Prix here. But coming down into the pit lane here, Daniel Ricciardo was also opted to come into the pits here. So, you know, we haven't been able to stretch the tyres as far as we would want to against the rest of the field here. But coming into my pit box now, they're going to put a set of the soft tyres on the car, and they haven't changed the front wing there. No idea what the team is doing there. I definitely had the front wing change selected there, so no idea why the team haven't changed the front wing there, but that is going to cost me an absolutely huge amount of time there. See, coming out the pit lane, just look how little grip we had coming out the pit lane there. I think, you know, that little display there has really not told the full story about how much front wing damage we had. So I was going to try and come in at the end of this lap, go on to another set of the soft tyres here, but we had no more sets of soft tyres for the rest of this Grand Prix here, so the team have really just completely botched my strategy up, and we considered, you know, changing the front wing around. You know, I'm flicking through between changing the front wing, no, and yes, they're just trying to recalibrate it as such, so it would actually try and change the front wing there, but I thought, you know, better off not bother going with it in the end, because obviously with the no more sets of soft tyres in this race, we really need to try and just push the car as far as we possibly can, whilst we've still got the grip from this new set tyres. You can see, moving on to the end of lap 10 here though, and we got Fernando Alonso, who's getting held up by my teammate Danny Kvyat here, down towards turn 1. They're going to go side by side. That's going to cost them both an absolutely huge amount of time there. My teammate runs wide there. We're going to try and go down the inside into turn 3 there, but we make contact with him as I thought, you know, he just let me through there. My teammate Danny Kvyat there going very, very defensive, quite surprised by that. As you know, obviously we're in the lead of the driver's standings there, so, you know, hoping he wouldn't make it very difficult for me there, but he has made it quite difficult. And now moving on towards the end of lap 11 here, as you can see, a train is starting to form just ahead of me here. As you can see, Fernando Alonso has just joined the back of it here, and I think all the race leaders at this moment in time are getting held up by, I think it's a Renault and a Williams car at the head of this train, guys. We can see we've got Fernando Alonso, the Ferraris, the Red Bulls there everyone just getting caught up in this train here, and obviously this could really help me out. So obviously if these guys all get held up, we could probably just try and cut my way through the field, hit it down towards turn 1. Fernando Alonso locking his front left wheel there absolutely massively, so we're going to be able to glide up the inside of him through turn 2 and turn 3 there, locking him out on the outside there, going very, very aggressively. As quite surprised to know that we didn't be able to get the turn in on him there, but we do move up now into P14 here, and next up on my hit list is Kimi Räikkönen here, and hoping, you know, that we can jump him in these next couple of laps of this Grand Prix here. As you see, just coming down into these next couple of corners there, we're right behind Räikkönen here, and it's going to be an absolute car park down into the next corner there, so we're just going to throw it at the inside of Räikkönen there. Up into P13 we go. We do make a little bit of contact with him there, but we do inherit P13 there, and next up on my hit list is Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, and then I think it's Nico Rosberg there. And now, as you can hear on the end of this lap there, my engineer just telling me that Sebastian Vettel has got a car issue as well, so it's even more critical that we try and get past these guys, because we've basically got 4 cars there going so slowly. We've got the Renaults, the Williams of, I think, Felipe Massa there, and the Ferrari now of Sebastian Vettel there, that are really struggling for pace here. So if we can get past Daniel Ricciardo, Verstappen and Nico Rosberg, we could be in an incredibly good position in this Grand Prix here to, you know, just be able to try and pull away a bit, obviously, whilst we've got this front wing damage here. We're going to try and have a look down the inside of Kimi Räikkönen there through turn 3. Not an orthodox overtaking place, but we've made it work before here. And coming down towards turn 4 and turn 5 here, he pushes me wide. I make a little bit of contact with the wall, but we're still side by side here. I'm going to enable the DRS, and Ricciardo has just got that little bit extra straight line speed on me, running that lower wing. But we're going to try and look down the inside into the next corner there, park it pretty much on the apex there. He locks up on the outside, and we do now move up back into P12 there. Going to go down the inside of Max Verstappen into the next corner there, inherit P11 there, so we get past both Red Bulls there in just 2 corners there. Next up on my hit list now is the struggling Sebastian Vettel here, and he's got Nico Rosberg, has just got past him, so we need to try and jump Vettel as quickly as we can here. So we're going to try and go for a switchback move, take a lot of curb through the next corner there, and we do move now up into P10 of this Grand Prix here, and now we've got Nico Rosberg next up on my hit list here, and hopefully, you know, we should be able to jump him very, very shortly in this Grand Prix here, as he's effectively now in the net lead of this Grand Prix, guys. See, now moving on to the end of lap 14 here, and we've actually now inherited P9 from another driver coming through the pit lane here, but we're following on from Nico Rosberg here, and he's still getting held up by, it's actually Bottas, Palmer, and then Kevin Magnussen, who is leading this train, if you will. As you can see, coming down towards turn 1 there, they break all incredibly early there, and we do move past Nico Rosberg there, accidentally in fact, but we have got even more front wing damage, and look how much steering lock we're having to put on the car to even drag it through the next corner there. Verstappen and Rosberg both get back past you. I'm going to try and hold it down the inside of Max Verstappen through the next corner here, but we hit the wall, and the tyre has completely come off there. We've got glitched off that curb once again there in that Grand Prix, and that is not what I wanted, especially for my championship here. Obviously, we've taken back-to-back wins in these last 2 Grand Prix here, but let's just have a look then on the replay cameras here. So, see, coming through the corner, we run side by side, and we're going to try to look from third-person cam here. So, see, going through towards the wall, and we just hit the wall on the front inside tyre there, and with the curb, the shape it is, we pinched the wheel there, and we got the Red Bulls that both crashed into me there. Obviously, nothing either of those guys can do in the aftermath of that crash there, but that is me out of the Singapore Grand Prix there. Not what I wanted to happen in this Grand Prix there. Obviously, we've won 2 races back-to-back, and we have such a big championship lead, and unfortunately for me, we are going to have to retire from that Grand Prix there. Not what I wanted, and we will definitely lose a massive lead in the standings there. It wouldn't surprise me if we're below 50-point lead once again in the standings here, but we're just going to have to let the race simulate the rest of the Grand Prix for the rest of the field here, guys. You know, hoping that none of the real contenders have had a very, very good race here. You know, hoping that none of them have won this Grand Prix here. Just waiting for the game to simulate, you know, the last half of the race there. So we didn't even make 50% of the race there. Not exactly what I wanted, but it was very action-packed up to that point there, guys. But now, look, the race has been simulated, and Haas are celebrating a race victory there. So that is definitely something that I can be quite happy with in the end there. Romain Grosjean takes the win of the Singapore Grand Prix there. When you sim these races, it does sometimes bring up some very, very unusual results, but he was actually leading the Grand Prix when I did retire there. So, you know, maybe it was actually just a good strategy call, but Romain Grosjean wins the Singapore Grand Prix there. Jenson Button finishes P2 in that race as well. So very, very solid results for for those guys there. And Kimi Räikkönen up in P3, and he isn't a big championship contender here, so that means that most any of the other guys will have been able to pull back. There's just 12 points there, which will mean we still have a 50-point lead, lead in the drivers' standings here. So, you know, that's still looking very, very strong for myself. That hoping, you know, if Mercedes have bottled it, that we could also be leading the constructors' standings. And have a look there. My teammate Danny Kvyat there gets a very, very well-earned 4th place there. Esteban Gutierrez down in P5 there. We've got Sebastian Vettel down in P6. But Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton there, my 2 main championship rivals, as well as Daniel Ricciardo, only scoring 2 points for Rosberg, 1 point for Lewis Hamilton there. And Daniel Ricciardo has not even scored a single point in that Grand Prix there. So, you know, we can be very, very happy with that. The fact that all these guys have ended up getting screwed over there in that Grand Prix there. You know, nothing really too much to say apart from that. Obviously, Red Bull taking home no points there as well in the constructors' standings there. But the only 3 DNFs, myself, Pascal Wehrlein and Sergio Perez there, guys. But, you know, that's actually come out a lot better than I thought it would in the end of that Grand Prix there. I think that might actually be my first DNF of the season there, guys. Correct me if I am wrong, but we still lead the drivers' standings by 57 points there. Kimi Räikkönen has jumped up now into P2 in the standings there, obviously after scoring so many points in that Grand Prix there, guys. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe as well. I think we should still be leading the constructors' standings, and there is confirmation of that. But as I said, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you are new around here, guys, and I will see you guys next time for the Japanese Grand Prix.
So promise that you'll catch me.